I think the resolve. They weren't great in the first half. Derby, I said at half time, I thought Derby shaded it. On reflection, maybe I was being a bit over polite, but they certainly had one or two good chances. Tom Lawrence, we were just chatting before we came on air, that Tom Lawrence had a really good chance in the first few minutes, which Brice Samba made a terrific save from. If that goes in, it's a very different game. So, but they weren't great in the first half, as I said, but Sabri Lamouchi clearly did something at half time, because they came out the second half with a lot more purpose, a lot more energy in their play, and they were the better side for pretty much the whole second half. Yeah, it got a bit nervy late on, but it's always going to against any team, let alone Derby, when you're only 1-0 up and they're trying to get back in the game. Jack Marriott had a really good chance, which he should have put away, in fairness. I wonder if that's his lack of sharpness is down to the fact he's not playing every week. I think maybe the Jack Marriott of last season, the back end of last season, might have buried that. But take nothing away from Forest, they were good, and there were some terrific individual performances. It was what fans want to see from a Derby, wasn't it? It was gritty. They were the likes of Matty Cashin, Joe Worrell, Thiago Silva. They were throwing themselves in front of shots, blocks, crosses, trying to do everything, and that's what you've got to do in a derby,
And as well as, of course, claiming the all-important bragging rights, it was important for Forest to win, to keep up the momentum, not just in terms of maybe putting another run together, but also to keeping up with the teams above them that seem to be keeping pace and winning week in and week out at the moment.
Yeah, well, we were there at the City Ground on Thursday, weren't we, for the pre-match press with Sabri, and we asked him about how important that win at Luton was, because they'd have come into the Luton game on the back of 2 straight defeats. They then, if they'd have lost or not got anything at Luton, that'd have been 3 defeats, 2 defeats and a draw. Not ideal preparation for that game on Saturday. Now, as it was, they returned well with 3 points from Bedfordshire, set them up beautifully, and then that gave them the basis, I think, to go on or the platform to go on and beat Derby. And it's huge. The key thing now, and we asked Sabri about this on Saturday night, was the international break last time. We thought came at a good time. Forest form was good, 10 games unbeaten, but something went wrong over the international break. And then we went to Wigan. He changed tactics. He made 5 changes in the team. They lost. He then had to correct those 5 changes against Hull. They lost. So I think the key thing is now, Bristol City on the horizon, sold out away crowd already 2 weeks in advance, is to get that preparation right, because that's they're level on points. Forest are 5th, Bristol City is 6th. They won at Cardiff at the weekend. It's set up beautifully for that.
And just finally, just looking at the league as a whole, of course, West Brom, Leeds, Preston all won at the weekend. There seems to be a little bit of a division starting to appear, or is it a bit too early to say that?
I think, I think it's a bit too early. We've always said in football, haven't we, that 10 games is the yardstick. Everything in division starts to settle down after 10 games. In the Championship, that's going to be different. I think right up until January, February time, it's going to be nip and tuck. Though what you say is kind of right. There is a bit of a gap starting to develop between the top 7, top 8 and below.